doing more vacuuming apparently. Ugh. 1 second. All right. And we're back. My husband said he was going to go sit down after he put the glasses away. That was a lie. He was apparently vacuuming. So, right now, me and him are waiting for our new stove to get delivered. We didn't get a new stove because we're like mega ballers or just was like, I want a new thing. No, our old stove died. It would have cost us about $5-6, just as much to fix that stove as it was to buy a new one. So we decided we should get a new one. So that is on its way today. It could be here any minute. Any minute. But I decided while I wait, I would work on refurbishing some old terrain. So a lot of this here on the desk, this is the first terrain I ever built. I built it for Kill Team. I was super into Kill Team when Kill Team was really good. And some of it's pretty cool. So like, I did a pretty good job on these boxes here, where they're like beat up and they got the weathering on them and stuff. I think they look pretty good. They could probably use another coat of wash, just to sort of bring them in line with all the grunginess that all my other stuff has. But I mean, like, I'm pretty happy with those. I put this door in upside down, but it's all good. You know, so I've got like 2 of those. The third one I never finished, so I'm probably going to start over from scratch on this one. Because in theory, I have 3 more of these coming with Imperium. So I kind of want them to match a little bit more, and they'll keep the other ones. I've got some of these little trucks. Pretty much anything that has like this red primer is my first set of terrain. Other stuff here is bits and bobs I was trying to finish up maybe for Stargrave this weekend. But there's some cool stuff here I've been trying to refurbish. So what I've been doing as I refurbish is I've been trying to pick out more details. So like these panels here used to be red, so I was kind of painting them in, painted in the tube and stuff. A little bit more gunmetal throughout it. Just trying to break up the red, because really these were red and then they had some details painted in. That was kind of it. This one's actually 2 pieces. I did this one in gray. I don't really like it. I'm going to repaint it in black, because I do like the black and tan that I did here. I think that's pretty cool. I think that looks neat on the tabletop like that. But the big thing that we're going to work on today is this crane. So this crane was basically all red. And I've been going back and I've been picking out these like girders and stuff, so I need to finish doing that. But the clip here broke when this was where it was. So this is normally like this. Sorry, you can't say. It's normally like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have it hang down with a chain. We're going to put some chain in on it. But like I was pretty happy with this when I first did it, but I've got like a magnetize so I can turn and stuff, which is cool. But I don't know. I want something more, something less red for sort of like my standard of painting today. So it's something I'm going to work on while I wait for my new stove to get here, which is super exciting. So I've got 18 gauge wire. Is this the smallest one I have? That's reliable, yes. Shit. Just knocked a Gundam on the floor. So I've got 18 gauge wire here. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a hole in the end here, put it in, bend it around a loop of chain, Got this chain here. This is like just chain from Walmart. Comes from the craft section. I've got a bunch of different sizes of this I've been using to sort of glow up my Titanicus models. I have this wire cutter. This is not the correct tool for this. This is more for like stripping wires and snipping little wires and stuff. But my nips for metal are really garbage. I really need to get a new set. So that will do for today. So first off, I'm going to nip off a big chunk of this so we can make 2 loops. Then I'm going to nip this in half. Boom, like that. All right. She's done for right now. Okay, next up, we've got our vice drill. So we can sort of, because I was going to have to pin this, and I can just pin it. But I thought it'd be more fun if it could wiggle and move around and stuff. I thought that'd be pretty cool. Because really, this is pretty much the same process if you're going to pin it. You're going to vice drill a hole in, put a piece of metal between the two, and then glue it. Let's see, is that the right size? No. Maybe? I want it to be bigger. Alright, so we're going to have to find a slightly bigger bit. To the bit magnet horde. I saved myself from losing bits. I just threw a magnet in the middle, and now they all just clip to each other. It's really nice. But yeah, waiting for my stove. We've been out without a stove for a while, so it's going to be pretty baller. Looking forward to getting some cooking action in and stuff. I want to make mac and cheese. As deep as it goes? Yeah, well, that's holding it in. Okay. So there's one side there. Let's do the other. So same dealio. I kind of figured the minute I started streaming, the stove would show up. Just trying to trick out fate there. Don't think it's worked though. Don't think it's worked. Ah. Maybe? No, it's just a guy with a truck. Alright, we got a hole in the bottom there. And then this is just going to go and clip in there. Gonna have to wiggle the bit a little and make it slightly bigger. The wire's slightly bigger than the bit is. That's cool. So what I'm doing is I'm just pressing against one of the walls as I screw in, and it'll shave a little bit off the wall. It's not the best way to do it, but really the best way is to find the right size bit. But it's just slightly off, I think. Yep. There she goes. There she goes, there she goes, there she goes. Alright. So now I can nip this down a little bit more. Like that. And then, oh man. Alright. There we go. Now we can just loop it up. Bump. Just like that. Now we gotta cut it to size. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright. So here's the chain. Here's our guy. Kinda want him to be like there. Like, you know, could almost touch a mini kind of height. Don't want it to be on the floor. So like maybe like here. There we go. All done with our chain. You can go back in the Adeptus Titanicus box. And then we can nip this down a little more. Not going to need all that. There we go. Really, I should be keeping track of these little metal bits because that's the kind of shit that will go right in your goddamn foot. Alright, and then same thing as before. This goes through the metal hole. And then we just bend her around. If the fit for the wire wasn't so tight, I would actually I would use glue on these. But the fit is hella tight, so I'm not going to worry about it. Man, I'm a little sniffly today. I don't know if it's all the dust from cleaning or my friend had a COVID scare. If she gave me COVID, I swear to God. There we go. Now we've got wire that wiggles and jiggles and tickles inside her. I don't know. It's a spider, apparently, for old lady that ate a fly, I guess. But, yeah, there we go. Just a little bit of fun now. Sort of just jiggling around. Jiggle Billy up in here. So now it, I don't know, just kind of like personality and fun kind of thing, right? Like, it's not going to affect gameplay at all, but, you know, it's cool, right? It looks cute. It wiggles a little. I don't know. It's got some personality to it. I think it's cool. So yeah, there we go. We fixed our claw and added a piece of wire to it. Nice and easy. And it's cute now. So, let's, I guess, so I need to like figure out the areas that need painting on this. Really, I should have done this before I put the claw on, because now it's going to be wiggling and jiggling everywhere, which is a pain in the ass. But I'm not the brightest person, and order of operations can be a pain in the ass. Alright, just don't put your shoes on before you put your pants on, and you're fine. Alright. Here, I have put on my shoes before my pants. Wetting my brush. And we're just going to go in and fill in some of the spots that I missed last night when I was painting at like 1 a.m. It wasn't that late. It was like 10:30. Even though I knew I'd be home today, I actually followed my work alarm because I didn't trust the shipping guys to show up when they said. I thought they might show up really, really early. So I've had that happen before. But I guess not. And I guess the tried old trick of doing something else and then they'll show up because it's the least inconvenient time has not worked today either. Man, so we have like a daycare thing at the end of our street on the other side of the street, and man, you can hear them kids yelling from here. Like, fuck, you think they're gonna be sore? Man, yelling that much. But yeah, this is the first train I ever did. I was supposed to go on a cruise, actually, and play with this train. That unfortunately didn't happen because of family, like just super unfortunate family timing, and just terrible events that befell loved ones. So we actually didn't get to go, but they still charged us for the fucking cruise. And I guess it worked out because it was right at the beginning of COVID, so it's probably for the best anyway. Probably for the best anyway. But all this terrain was made for that. I was going to teach a couple friends how to play Kill Team, which would have been cool. Would have been really, really cool. Hopefully would have got my husband into it, but that didn't happen. Our cruise did not happen, and yeah, so this trade never got its time to shine. But it's one of the first things I painted, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to just let this rot in the box. I want to use this for Stargrave, you know? So I'm going to go over it, try to get it up to a little bit higher painting standard that I have now. You know, try to upgrade it, get it rocking, and sort of go from there. You know? Lots of the old stuff like this, like, it's not bad kits. I didn't do a terrible job on it, but you know, it's not where I want it to be nowadays. So just trying to get it there, you know. Just giving it a little bit of TLC, a little bit of time, trying to pick her up to where I'm like, yeah, man, today's game's gonna have the crane, because the crane is cool with its wiggly hook, you know. The wiggly hook is cool, I'm not gonna lie, that's fun. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Anytime I start a new solo game on the channel, I get super excited about terrain. Anytime I play any game on the channel at all, I get super excited about terrain. I think terrain is one of those things I like secretly like really like, but like like don't really think about that often until I'm playing on the channel, and I'm like, man, I could make a like Warzone with a broken building and this and this and this, and it'd be so cool. Or I could have a little shop, and I'll be selling droids, and you know, as I punch the camera with my face. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of those things I don't think about until I'm playing something like at home. Because like really, it's part of the train is really part of the narrative, right? It sets the scene. Tells you where your guys are, right? It doesn't tell you why they're there, but it tells you where they are, and that's really cool. Now, most of my terrain is like 40K stuff, so it's a lot of broken buildings, a lot of like industrial machinery and shipping crates, and you know, stuff like that. Be cool to have like some forest terrain or something. I don't have any of that. But for Stargrave, it works perfectly fine. So, yeah, really doing this for Stargrave. So my next one can be like my next battle can be like a shipping yard or something with it. Sort of the old goal here. I was really happy with how the train looked during the game on the weekend. I was super happy with that. My camera work for it was not as good as I'd hoped, but the game was amazing. Man, Stargrave is so cool. I was so smitten with it. Got all these ideas for my 3D printer when it comes. I'm like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna print these guys out, and I'm gonna print a mech and all kinds of shit, right? Like, just super excited. But you know, that's fun, right? Like that's important. Like I think as an adult, one of the hardest things to do is let yourself enjoy things. And like, So I watched a YouTube channel recently. I watched them a lot, called Black not Black Magic Craft, Black something. I think it's Blackjack, I think. It's like an old, like, British guy. He's not really that old. He's like bald. He seems like a really nice guy. He had a really weird topic that was like, why do you keep spending if you have stuff? And that's a very good question, but at the same time, like, I don't know. The whole thing felt a little bit just like he was sort of like trying to piss in people's cornflakes. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that. Right? Like, I feel like I do strongly believe that as an adult, the hardest thing to do is to let yourself and other people enjoy things. Right? Like, if you really like a movie or you really dislike a movie, you don't need to like shit on other people for liking it or whatever. Like, you know, if other people don't like your video game or whatever, like, they're not fucking Hitler just because they don't want to play Call of Duty or whatever the fuck. You know? And I think it's really interesting, right? Like, because sometimes it's like min-maxing stuff, right? Like, you know, you look at something and you're like, oh, you know, this is essentially a scam or a waste of money or a waste of time or whatever, right? It's really easy to sort of put things into those categories. And that's kind of fucked. Like, it feels reductionist to the world, and just like, it feels like it really is just trying to take people's fun away, which I'm not a big fan of. Like, I've actually been, it's going to sound super SJW-y, I've actually been trying not to use the word cringe, because, well, it's kind of a funny word, right? And it's funny to call something cringe or whatever. Lots of times it's just sort of used as leverage, like negative leverage at someone's enjoyment. And like I'm not about that. I don't want to be about that. I'm trying not to use it because of that. You know? That probably sounds stupid, but I don't know. I don't want to be all judgy of stuff that I don't really, like, it might not appeal to me, but I don't want to be like a guy out there judging everybody's shit, because I do lots of dumb shit, right? I do lots of cringe shit. Like, these kids nowadays, man, they feel like they're the masters of cringe, motherfucker. Like, you know, I was born in the cringe. I was molded by that shit. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to enjoy things as an adult and be like, oh, you know, I could do this faster, I could do this a better way, or, you know, like, this should work like this, or you know, or it's like, no, this is a grind or whatever. Like, I don't know. It's very easy to just be negative about everything. It's so hard to let yourself and let other people enjoy whatever they're doing. Super tough. There we go. Can I paint this chain? Is it gonna hold paint? Not really. Maybe I can change the tone a little, but I don't think it's gonna hold paint. Yeah, let's at least try. Got all the stuff out, we might as well give it a try. Maybe at least get rid of some of the brass from it, even if it's not going to actually be the color we want it to be. Well, I mean, that might actually work. It's not going to be perfect, but at least change the tone a little bit, at least. Looks like it'll do that. Looks like it'll stick a little bit. It's not going to be, you know, golden demon there, but just going to change up the tone. At least it dropped the silver a little, which is nice. Or it dropped the brass a little. So, there she is. She's got her wiggly jiggly chain. And a little bit more gunmetal worked into it, just so it's less red. Right? So when I hit this with the wash, it'll drop the gunmetal, and dirty it down, and it should show through pretty good and look pretty nice. Let's actually put some gunmetal down here too. I'm not going to mess with the frame and stuff, but I'm going to do this little trailer piece here. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this guy over here. Not huge portions of it, because like I feel like we have enough breaking up the red up top. So, by the way, my idea for originally using this red is because it's very like World War II like tank factory primer, and I thought that was very fitting for the Imperium. That's why I ended up going with this red. In retrospect, it's just so red, and I did everything in it that it's a little much. We could do the track too. Could do the track. I think it's okay. I think I'm happy with that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. We'll call that done. We got our jiggly chain. We'll call that done for now. Maybe I'll come back to it. But at least it's got some breakup in there, which is what I really wanted out of it. So these, I'm going to be super honest. I'm actually debating just respraying these so that they're not red. Because I'm going to respray this crate. So I'm debating just respraying these trucks too. This one's got a tiny bit of weathering on it, but I'm still not really sold on it. So yeah, I think I might just respray these, to be honest, and start over with gunmetal. So we'll put those in the respray pile. But what color would I do them if I respray them? Like, what would really be different? I think I could do them in like an orange, maybe. I don't know if respraying is the right answer. Let me debate that. Alright. Well, I try to process that in my brain. Let's work on this sucker here. So I really like the black on this one and the tan. So we're going to do that. We're going to swap this to black. So then all these stacks will kind of go together. One will be pure tan, one will be pure black, and one will be black and tan. So that way if I want to like set them up in a big clump, they'll make sense and look nice. But yeah. My friend asked me late last night, whenever the world stops being fucking stupid, which is very far away off it seems. He asked me if I want to try the Grimdark games out. So these are a set of like simpler war games from one-page rules. I support them on Patreon so I can get like the expanded rules for them. And they seem pretty damn cool. There's definitely some issue with them, but there's a lot of cool good there. Especially when like I'm pretty pretty toxic of 40k right now, to be honest. Not the setting. I love the setting. I love the miniatures. But just the rules for it are really not... They're not there for me at the moment, which is a real shame. Necromunda's good. Adeptus Titanicus is presumably good. Haven't actually gotten to try it yet. But I don't really like the new kill team. It's okay. There's some weirdness in the rules I'm not a big fan of. Like how terrain and stuff works. It's just like that makes way too much. That's just way too fucking convoluted. You know, there's some weirdness with how the teams are made and stuff. Like they're like DLC, and I'm not a big fan of that. And yeah, real shame. 40k is kind of that same way. Like the rules are either super complicated or they're fucking weak as shit. And I'm not a power gamer, but you know, when your opponent can blast you off the table in turn 1, they're not having very much fun either. And that makes it really hard. You know, like when you roll into a game and you know you're just gonna lose because you're not gonna try to exploit any of the bullshit. Like, you're gonna have a bad time. Like, even if your opponent is playing narratively, some of the strength in the armies is just crazy, and they're all super convoluted. Like Jesus, the AdMech Codex, you need a fucking like PhD in astrocytes to figure it out, and it fucking kills me. The new Gene Stealer Cult one is the same way. Like, the rules are so much simpler, but like how they're written is just this cluster, and I'm just like, man, I am not about that, you know? Everyone's all upset about this new Tau gun that's coming out or something, and I'm like, I have a Tau army, and they're my new army for 2022, and I'm like, nobody's gonna want to play against them, like, because everyone's so upset about some gun that's really powerful, and it's like, all that's gonna be is a negative play experience. Like it's cool they've got something strong, but like, you know, it's going to be a situation where when your opponent has Tau, you're just like, well, fuck my life. I don't want, you know, my Raptor X tank, Space Marine, whatever. It's dead on turn 1. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a fun play experience for anybody. It's not going to be a fun experience for the person that has that unit. It's not going to be a fun experience for the person that's dreading getting deleted on turn 1. Like really powerful units like that are awesome, but they don't work in a game where your whole army goes before the entire opponent's army goes. They work really well in a back and forth game, but it's not what 40k is. So yeah, I don't know. That new Tau Battle Force looks really nice, though. I'm definitely going to pick that up. Just because I'm converting all the Tau into Space Otters, because that's cool as shit. And 2, it's a nice box, and the GW minis are really nice, even if their rules are really stupid right now. I will say the most fun I had with 9th was actually before 9th came out. Part of this is COVID's fault, but part of this is also just because I had a group of friends and we were all playing like almost every goddamn day. We were playing 9th edition when just the core rules were out, none of the other stuff. You just had just the one mission. We were all like, we were basically using all the 8th codexes and just playing those core roles, and everybody was having a blast. It was really fun. It was like a whole big group of us too. It was really, really, really good. Yeah. But yeah, after I saw the GSC Codex, I realized it was another one of those armies I'm not going to get to the table in 9th. So like I'm not going to get to play them until fucking 10th edition. I've never gotten to play my GSC army ever. Because I was waiting for the new Codex to come out for them. So I built them during COVID, and I was like, oh, okay. I was waiting for the new Codex to come out. I'm never going to get to fucking play them in 9th. The new Codex it's too fucking complex. Right? Like, some of it's kind of thematic, but it's like so rules lawyery that the theme is just... The theme feels lost in the words. And I don't know. Maybe that's just me being a little salty about 40k right now, but AOS is cool though right now. Big fan of AOS right now. And Stargrave. Oh my god, Stargrave was so much fun last weekend on the channel. Oh my god, it was so much fun. It was the first game I played of 2020 too. And it was just a blast. So I'm really looking forward to this Sunday when I get to play again. I mean, technically I could be playing right now, but, you know, I said I would play the second scenario on Sunday. Still looking at some of the scenarios. We might not do the second scenario. We might grab another scenario. Because the next one has this whole thing about, like, wires and stuff, and I don't think I have the stuff for it. So, we'll see. But we're definitely going to play Stargrave again. And we'll be taking out the first mate and his group of 4 guys. On Saturday, I am planning on coding a random action behavior and encounter table tools and putting them up on my website for Frostgrave. So we'll be, fingers crossed, assuming everything goes well, we'll be coding those together on Saturday, just like how I coded the website together with the stream on Saturday. So, fingers crossed we'll be doing that together, which is really cool. Really fun. Alright. That'll be really cool. This thing had a magnet in it. It would be cool if that had a magnet, and then I could just be like, plop. If I wanted it to be the really tall one, or if I wanted it to be the short one. That would be cool. How would I do that? I need to build something to hold the magnet up in there. That's what I need to do. And then I could put a magnet on the back side of this. Like that. I mean, that'd be really cool though, and then I could have a tall one if I wanted it to, or a short one, without fear of it falling over. And I do kind of like the short one though, because then I can do things like this, and make like kind of dense, like just like mechanical nightmare looking terrain. But the tall one's kind of cool too. Fuck it, let's do it. I feel like doing something with magnets. Yeah. You'll do. So we clip about there. Good. Let's see. Can we get that in there? It's still. Sorry, it's probably not going to be the easiest to see on stream. But yeah, Stargrive's really cool. I really want to try out. There's Grimdark Games from One Page Rules. Alright, there we go. I need some glue now. Let me find. A lot of my glues are dead. I just haven't thrown them away. That one's. This one actually might be full. I don't know. They're hard to tell when they're dead and when they're not. Until you break them open and they're like, does it work? yeah, I'm just gonna glue the living fuck out of that. There we go. Alright, and then we're gonna get a magnet out. Get a big boy magnet. I'm a big boy and I deserve a big boy glass. Almost dead glues, like I said. Alright, so I'm putting a really thin magnet here in the middle. The reason I'm doing that is so it has some connection on the middle here. Alright, this one's dead. That one's going in the trash. Let's try this one. There we go. A little bit better. Alright, we made a mess. Okay. There we go. Alright. I'm going to take another big boy magnet here. Alright, so we want it to face down that way. And put some glue here. Maybe all my glues are dead. Let's do that. Glue onto the bar like that. Okay. Now we will set those to dry, and in like 10 minutes we'll check them and see if they work. And they should totally work. Right now, if I try to check it right now, it's just going to pull the magnet off the bar, so it doesn't have anything to connect to. So for right now, we're just going to set it over here on its side, and then we're going to let this guy dry too. So, yeah, so we just gotta let those sit now. So we'll use that time to try to fix up some more colors on these. That's what we'll do. But yeah, I was really excited when my friend mentioned maybe learning Grimdark Firefight or Grimdark Future, whatever the other one's called. It was super excited last night when he mentioned it. So it was really nice. I will admit I've been a little bit of a anxious mess beginning this year. Thank you, neurochemicals. Thank you, lots of events going on right now. Thank you, COVID spiking and world tensions spiking and all kinds of good things happening. It always seems like every country decides to be an asshole at the beginning of the year. I don't know why, but everybody's just like, let's start World War III. It's the beginning of the year. Seem to do it every fucking year. It's obnoxious, but yeah, that and fucking COVID numbers are off the chain out here in Hawaii. That's paint on my finger. Now, don't get me wrong, COVID numbers are still better than a lot of places in Hawaii versus other places. But for Hawaii, they are insane. Last Friday was 4,700 cases. 4,700 cases was about 6 months worth of cases in 2020. Back when we had to shut down. We're having that number of cases a day. Now, thankfully, Hawaii is very has the highest vaccination rate in the nation. At least last time I checked, which was 2 weeks ago. We have the highest vaccination rate in the nation, so thankfully our hospitalizations, while high, are not as bad as other places. So that's pretty awesome. All right. So we got those there. I'd like to do something with this big donger. Maybe block in some of the pipe in gunmetal or something. Or paint like the whole end here in gunmetal. Got some errors there. I guess I could do the whole end in like taupe too, really. Does this have anything on the lid? I could paint the door in taupe. Nah, it's all good. It's getting red. There's some gauges and stuff I can paint in. A little bit of wires here and there. Do this in taupe. That might look nice. I could do that. I think I'll do that little chunk there in gunmetal, and then we'll do the end gunmetal too. I think that'll look good. But yeah, I've kind of been off the chain for the last oh god, since the new year. I've been, straight up, I'll admit, I've been kind of a mess. And it's just a combination of the fact it's a new year and, you know, not a whole lot's changed, and, you know, it's just, you know, I want to be able to, like, go to the game store and just fucking zonk out and be a derp and carry on, and you just can't do that, you know. It was a real shame. It's funny, I never did this kind of stuff like in Maryland until the end, but really, like, I didn't do any like kind of like social like nerd kind of stuff really besides play video games with people until later, right? Until I was already like living on my own and stuff. And just the value of it socially is just super, super important. You know, it's like the nerd equivalent of like going to the bar or whatever, you know? Like, I mean, really, like, I don't know. It keeps you kind of like engaged in your hobby. Like, this train's just been rotting in my closet. You know, I haven't really given it a second thought until, you know, I got more engaged with that Stargrave game. Like, that really, like, you know, clued me into, like, man, alright, let's get excited about this. You know, that's really cool. I was like, man, maybe I should try Frostgrave. Like, you know, Stargrave was so good. Like, it's like, man, I can make a Chaos Warband and be really cool. I have like a sorcerer as my leader, and, you know, I do think there's some differences with Frostgrave. Just kind of a shame because the Stargrave system of just like you and your boss is really cool. It's a super cool system. It works really well. And I think your boss in that is just like or your mini-me, your like first mate in Frostgrave is just like a clone of your guy to be a backup in case he dies. But, I mean, it's a lot more thematic to have them be totally different. I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should try out Rangers of Shadowdeep or something, maybe. That might be fun too. Maybe give that a look. So I think that's more like, because I don't think that's a Joseph McCullough game, or if it is, it's published by a different company than Osprey. But yeah, maybe I should give that one a look too. So yeah, there we go. Some color just to break that up a little bit. Alright, let's see how our magnets are holding. There we go. And then, not quite strong enough. Get in there. Let's do one more. So I don't mind using a bunch of magnets because I buy these things basically in bulk from Amazon, where you get like hundreds of them for like $5 or something. So yeah, there we go. So now we have a magnetized alchemical stack. So it can be this big Mama Jamba here, or it can be two separate Mama Jambas like that. Depending on however we're feeling during the day. And now if you knock it with your arm or whatever, you still knock it over apparently. But if you just clip it, it doesn't fall off, which is nice. But yeah, now we have good options for our alchemical stack, which is pretty sweet. Alright, so all this stuff needs washes. I think I'm pretty happy with it once it gets a wash. I think it'll look pretty damn good though. I think once she gets a wash, she'll be gold. Really happy with this. The wiggly chain and all, I think that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. I don't want to do anything else to this guy. This guy, all I did was just block these colors here in. And then I picked out things like that in gunmetal and stuff just to break up the red a little bit. You know, some stuff like there and like the tips and stuff. Could do more of that. I could pick out like here, there. But I think it looks pretty good. I think that one looks pretty good. Once it gets its washes, I think that'll be pretty great. So I think the alchemical stacks are good. Let's look at the little trucks. So if I respray this, what's going to actually change? I guess I could paint it like orange or something. It might look pretty good. You could do like the body here in orange. I don't know. I think the red might not be bad because then it sort of goes with this a little bit. I think let's just try picking some stuff out in gunmetal and go from there. And I mean, if that doesn't work, I'll just spray the whole thing again. Because like I said, I'm going to respray some of this stuff. I'm respraying that one container. You know, I'm respraying this guy just because I want him to be different, completely different. And then I've got to spray this busted container here anyway. So I've got to spray today. I have a bunch of these that I made as like, what's it called, terrain, but they did not stand the test of time. So, yeah, I need to redo those as well. So there's that one, and then this one's pretty good. That one's pretty good. That one just needs a little cleanup on this side, and she's good. But this one's going to pretty much need to be totally resprayed, so we might add it to the pile of barrels and stuff. Because I want to get some, like, shipping container, because I've got all these barrels and stuff. I want to do something cool with those. Maybe make a couple like really high stacks of them and stuff to use as cover. All right, let's pick some details out and go from there. All right, so I'm gonna do this inside stuff. So let's try that. See if that helps break it up. So then it'll be like the outside is like, you know, red, and the mechanical workings are like metal. Does that help? I think that helps. How does it help enough? I don't know. Let's keep going and we'll see. I think that helps a pretty lot, to be honest. Definitely. Let's try doing these pipes too. Pipes like down onto this engine bit, maybe like that. These things have so much detail in them. Like, basically having to like purposefully not pick out all the details. So there's just so many little wires and tubes, and like you could paint it all totally different, but it would really, I don't know. It might be so detailed that it would catch your eye when you're playing more than like you want terrain to. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that helps. I think that looks pretty good. I think maybe we'll pick some of this arm out in gunmetal too. I think we're on the road to something nice. But yeah, there's it's tough times for sure with the virus and everything, and it really just pushes down on you. It's been really, like, nothing terrible has happened, thankfully, knock on wood, but like it's been a rough beginning of the year just for mental health, just because like we like to think of the beginning of the year as like this fresh start, you know, but really not a lot's changed. That's kind of a rough reality. You know, people are still being dumb, not getting their vaccine, and you know, we're all still having to deal with this shit. I can't go to a fucking game store and play. We've got 47 fucking 100 cases. There's a tournament this weekend. I'm not gonna get to play in because there's 47 fucking 100 cases. Just killer, you know? Just absolutely killer. I don't know. Really gets you down. You just gotta do your best with it, you know? That's all you ever can do. Because it sucks, right? But that doesn't mean that we need to suck too. I mean, you can suck if you want to. That could be fun. But, like, sorry, my brain got totally derailed there. I don't know. COVID stuff sucks. I don't think anyone's having a good time with it. Unless you're like a big billionaire company, at which point you're like, yes, my money. But definitely sucks for everybody. This one, so sort of a weird detail. It's different on each side. But yeah, I want to go to the tournament, but I can't. It's just not safe, you know? I feel like I've been saying, oh, but maybe soon for years. It's because I have. All right. Oh, enough of this depressingness. Jesus, stop it. Alright, so what do we got? We got the inside there picked out. We've got these back tubes here picked out. And I picked out the joint here in this arm to break up the red there a little bit as well. I think that looks pretty good. I think that looks pretty good, actually. I think we're pretty good for not completely repainting that. Could pick out these computers too, but I think they're good as they are. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that. At least we've got something that stands out from the red a little bit more now. But it's still red, so it still matches the big crane. Alright, let's look at this guy. I hate the weathering job I did on this. Jesus. Whoa, Mr. Camera. You've been having trouble lately, buddy. Alright. Let's try the same thing. Sorry. New camera position makes it hard. There we go. Well, the new Monster Hunter game comes out tomorrow, which is really cool. Looking forward to playing that. I almost always play Insect Glaive because it's like the coolest weapon that ever existed. I think I'll try something else this time. I usually say I'm going to try something else, and then I end up just playing Insect Glaive because it's cool as shit. Kind of want to see Switch Axe, to be honest. I think the idea of Switch Axe is cool. Sword and Shield is one of those ones I always am like, oh yeah, I want to try that too. I'm actually a really big hunting horn and heavy bowgun fan, but they're more fun to play when you have people to play with. And right now I don't, so like I did heavy bowgun all through World until pretty much until like the extreme hunts, to where I swapped to a mix of light bowgun and Insect Glaive. Sometimes I did them with heavy bowgun, but I usually did them with light bowgun and Insect Glaive. But yeah, just because I'd never done any of the ranged weapons, I did it, which was fun. Even though I was 99% of the time playing by myself. And then, yeah, so the new one comes out. I don't think I'll try out Switch Axe, and we'll see how it goes. It's a cool weapon. It's one of those ones I've wanted to try. I was also debating Gunlance maybe, but I think Gunlance by yourself is probably not very fun because it's just so slow. I just don't enjoy being that slow. And with Switch Axe, I don't know, you kind of have like Sword and Shield and then you get like a big axe. Yeah, it's not bad. We can pick this out too. Pick out this detail inside here. Just paint over what I did before. I was trying to do too little details. It just doesn't look good. But yeah, it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really really liked World. I really enjoyed the one on the 3DS before that. That was really good too. But I did not like the one before that. It was weird. So, we'll see how it goes. But me and my husband, we've still been playing Guild Wars 2. It's pretty fun. We actually just have finished the Season of the Dragon achievement. Which is like, you basically go back and play through all of the content in the entire game that was ever released. It's really actually a super nice way to frame a retrospective. And it was a lot of fun, and you get a really nice reward from it. You get a legendary necklace, which was pretty cool. As I punch the camera with my glasses. Alright, let's see what we got. We've got some more gunmetal picked out on this guy. So it looks pretty good from this side. Pick that out. Yeah. Looks pretty good from this side. It's less so on this side because there's less areas for color, so it's just a lot more red. I think it's okay. I don't think it's terrible. It's not my favorite piece, that's for sure. I don't think it's terrible. I'm very happy with this. And with the jiggly claw. But definitely don't think it's terrible. So, yeah. God, I've been streaming just random bullshit for an hour. Jesus. Which means my stove isn't out here yet. Christ. Ugh. Alright. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. So this stuff needs to dry before I hit it with washes. Oh, Stargrace was great. And whatever else random fucking bollocks I talked. But, yeah. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go see if I got an email saying they're not coming today, because they technically still have an hour to show up, but just kind of weird. So, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it there. Thank you for watching me. We magnetized this alchemical stack together, which is pretty cool. Magnetized this guy, and then we made that guy a hooky hook, and then we did a little bit of painting. It was pretty fun. But that's where I'm going to call it.